So UFC 307 just took place at Salt Lake City, and there's quite a lot to talk about. I don't usually do like a card review or a card recap or anything like that. And in this video, to be fair, I'm not really just going to go bottom to top and talk about the fights as they happened. I do actually have quite a few things to say about this card, because there was a lot of, I guess, officiating mistakes that I feel like were made through the judges, and also were made from some of the referees in the fights as well. So this is going to be a little bit of a different one. I just feel like I've got a couple of things to say, because I feel like I was kind of robbed out of a couple of picks on that main card. We'll get to it. I know Angelo's absolutely beaming right now because he went 11-1 on picks, but anyways, let's look into it. So I'll talk about the Pereira fight in a second. I do just want to firstly talk about Raquel Pennington and Jose Aldo decisions, because I do actually think that Aldo and Pennington won those fights, and I actually feel more strongly that Pennington won the fight against Juliana Pena than I do about the Jose Aldo fight, which I was furious about, because I'll be honest, I was actually thinking to myself before they read out the scorecards, I was like, let's go Jose Aldo. I thought he pretty clearly won round 3. I thought he very clearly won round 2 as well. That's when he really started to hurt Mario Batista. I thought, Aldo's won this, and I was thinking to myself, he gave Merab a really hard fight. If Umar can't fight Merab, like, we might be able to see Aldo versus Merab in a rematch. And then they give the fight to Mario Batista. And I was genuinely in shock. I was shocked that they gave the fight to Batista. I don't think that they officiated this correctly, especially in that third round when all 3 judges gave the third round to Mario Batista. Here's the thing about the new scoring system. It's been a while since I think it's updated, but it was updated somewhat recently. The way that the scoring system works is that you score damage, and then after that, you can start talking about control and pressure and all this and that, but only if damage is equal. And damage is never equal in a round, unless it's on very, very rare occasions, like the Rose Namajunas versus Carla Esparza rematch. But anyway, so you go to damage, and Mario Batista, holding Jose Aldo up against the cage, not getting takedowns, he's not doing damage. And if you actually look into the rules a little bit deeper, there is actually a rule in there saying that a fighter can hold a position as long as they want, but as long as they are not doing damage, they're not scoring points for doing that. And Mario Batista, in that third round especially, was doing nothing against Aldo, and Aldo did outstrike him. He did land more strikes in that third round. He did land more strikes, of course, in the second round. It was a little bit reminiscent of Merab versus Aldo, but I do think that Merab did do enough to win that one. I don't think Batista did enough to win that one. It is what it is. Now we can move on to Pennington versus Pena. I think everyone can agree Pena won rounds 2 and 3. Pennington won rounds 4 and 5. It comes down to the first round, and Pennington won round 1. Like, the people disagree. I just clipped my mic, I'm sorry. But, people disagree with me on that. I posted on my Twitter saying that, Pennington clearly won rounds 1, 4, and 5. And people were disagreeing with me. Some people were agreeing with me. The MMA decisions, which tracks all of the media members, which can be right and wrong, half of them scored the fight for Batista. Anyways, a lot of them are not in my good books right now. But everyone scored the fight for Pennington. Round 1, Pennington won it clearly. I know people are going on about how Pena was pressuring and did more damage and stuff. No, she wasn't. And then people were saying that Pennington was swinging and missing. Pena was swinging and missing. If Pennington was swinging and missing, what the was Pena doing? Dude, the way that Pena throws an overhand right, it looks like she dislocates her shoulder every time she does it. I don't understand how it is possible for her to fight like this. She has her elbows up, and then instead of just throwing instead of throwing like a straight right normally, she looks like she dislocates her elbow, pulls it backwards, and then awkwardly jerks it up and over. It's the most awkward technique I've ever seen. She didn't land that much on Pennington. Yes, she did, but Pennington was looking good. That was a purely striking round. There wasn't any takedowns or anything like that, and I thought Pennington got the better of the strikes in that round. That's it for the decisions. The refereeing. The referee that did the Pereira versus Almeida fight, they've done 4 UFC fights. I think this was definitely his last one. And I think this was probably Pereira's last UFC fight as well. He's lasted in the UFC for so much longer than I thought he was going to. He'd fought 7 times in the UFC. That is 4 more times than I thought he was going to last. I thought this guy was going to go 0-3 and get cut, but he's managed to fight 7 times in the promotion. Yeah, I think Potieri is done in the UFC. Cesar Almeida, very bad performance from him. Very bad performance from him. Um, just sort it out with your hands, buddy. Just close your fists. You're a kickboxer. You know, you beat Alex Pereira in kickboxing. Speaking of Alex Pereira, main event goes in. Round 1 happens, and it's a close round. I thought Khalil round one. Some people might disagree. Some people might agree. I don't know. I thought Khalil clearly won round 2. And I'll be honest with you guys, I'll start to get a little bit nervous. Now, the thing about Khalil that really confused me in this fight is the way that Khalil fight in this fight especially was he just kind of blitzed forward and was tagging Alex Pereira in moments. But I thought like 3.5 minutes into the first round, Khalil started breathing really heavily, and he comes out into round 2. And he looks good, and he looks even better. he catches Pereira, you know, Pereira threw that head kick. Khalil got him pretty good on a counter. It looked like it was a knockdown, but Pereira didn't really sit down. He just kind of crouched down and then was able to recover very quickly. I thought Khalil won rounds 2 pretty clearly, and then I thought that Alex Pereira started to take over in round number 3 against Khalil because it was pretty obvious that Khalil was starting to gas out. Maybe he wasn't training at elevation, maybe he wasn't acclimatized to the environment, because obviously these guys are so much higher above sea level. And Alex Pereira started to take over, and I want to say in like round 4 and somewhat round 3, Pereira just started to kind of just show levels, man. Like, Pereira was, like, doing the moves out of the way, and he was throwing knees, like, in counters, and he's just landing, like, 4 shot combinations on Khalil Rountree. And Rountree was, like, kept going, man. I gotta give a lot of credit to Khalil Rountree, though, before I do start to talk about Pereira's dominance towards the end of the fight, because I thought he was up 2-0 going into the 3rd round. I thought that Pereira was going to knock out Khalil Rountree in the 1st round. I did. That was my pick. I honestly thought it was going to happen. Pereira went out there. He went out pretty slow. Fought a very composed fight. I think maybe it is just because he did respect the power of Khalil, or maybe it was just because he did expect to maybe slow down at elevation if he did fight with a little bit more of an aggressive pace, even though that's not really his style anyways. Khalil looked good. He was blitzing forward. He was landing on Alex. I was actually thinking to myself, wow, Alex has a better chin than I thought he did, because he was taking some shots, and it kind of did confirm a couple of things to me. The first one is Magomed Ankalaev is not going to knock out Alex Pereira on the feet. It's just not going to happen. And secondly, Khalil Rountree. What a chin for Rountree, man. Like, Alex Pereira was landing some huge shots on him in round 3, and especially at the end of round 3. And then round 4 happens, and it's just kind of 4.5 minutes of Alex Pereira just 10-17 Rountree, man, just beating the brakes off him, dude. Like, he starts bleeding we started bleeding pretty bad in round 3, but it continued. Alex is ripping the body, and Khalil's clearly gassed, and he just keeps going, man. He starts swinging back as well. You know, it is one of those situations where I don't think that you actually could have stopped the fight sooner, because Khalil was, you know, fighting back, and it was a title fight, and he was up 2-0. But I do think that, I mean, obviously at the end, the damage got too much for Khalil and Alex. I thought it was a pretty decent performance. It wasn't as good or as dominant as what I thought, but hindsight is always 20/20, and in hindsight, Khalil was a lot more defensively sound than Yuri Prochazka, isn't he? But it is what it is. We can move on to Roman Dolidze versus Kevin Holland. Unfortunately, I did pick Holland. Looked alright on the feet. Dolidze won by fluke injury, even though he was winning on top. It just is what it is. Dolidze stole a man's wife and then celebrated an injury win, as if he just knocked out Holland on the feet. Yeah, Paulo Costa, you need to do us all a favor, buddy. Kayla Harrison defeated Ketlin Vieira. Not a great performance, but I think it should just be enough to give her the title shot. I mean, in hindsight, I thought that the way that Pena was able to hold down Pennington easily in rounds 2 and 3, if Harrison did that to Pennington, she's going to get the finish, I feel. Even though she couldn't finish Vieira, I still feel that way. And I feel like against Pennington, like, she might be the better striker. Like, am I delusional in that thinking? Yeah, I just think that Kayla Harrison should be able to get the takedowns against Pena. Now, Pena probably would be like one of the better pure grapplers that Harrison's ever fought. But Larissa Pacheco, you can't forget about this fight. Larissa Pacheco was able to outgrapple Harrison in a lot of moments in that matchup. So maybe Pena has a good shot of defeating Kayla Harrison, but I would pick Harrison in that matchup. Pena wants the Nunez fight. I said that Pena's running away from the Harrison fight. I genuinely believe that is what she's doing. I know they're like, oh, but she's calling for the GOAT. You know, she's calling for Nunez. It's a way tougher matchup than Harrison, this and that. I think Nunez is done. I don't think Nunez is coming back. I genuinely think she doesn't want the Harrison fight. I genuinely believe that, and it's annoying because Pennington would sign up for the Harrison fight and would probably have some sort of announcement for them to fight in February or even like, yeah, something like that. But anyway, it is what it is. Buckley knocked out Wonderboy. I did quickly change my pick on this one here. Now, I know that in my video I picked Wonderboy, but I did comment in a pinned comment saying that I changed the pick. The pick was changed on the We Want Picks website, and then it was changed on the Instagram as well. Well, I just posted that I had changed the pick on the Instagram. It's not really much more I could have done about that. Buckley won by knockout. I didn't think that was going to happen. I did say that I got a tip about why I was going to change my pick to Buckley. And I feel like when you kind of get like inside information like that, it's not really my place to share it, but it did kind of involve information about Joaquin Buckley that I didn't know before. And yeah, well, he ended up winning the fight. I thought Thompson was looking good though. In fact, for moments I was regretting my pick. I was thinking, man, damn, it kind of sucks. But Thompson got knocked out. I don't think this is a career ender. I do think that the Frivola fight is a career ender. This isn't a career ender for Thompson. I think he should take months off though, like 6 months off. I mean, he's 41. Oh, I don't know. It could be, like, at this point of his career. It's what it is. I thought Rodriguez beat Lucindo. Lucindo did do some damage on top, but it just was not enough damage, I thought, like, at all. To beat Marina Rodriguez is what it is. Hernandez versus Hubbard. I know a lot of people thought that Hubbard won the fight. And, like, the commentary. I didn't even talk about the commentary. The commentary, like, we're acting like Hernandez robbed Hubbard, and I kind of thought like it was a close fight. My scorecard, I thought Hernandez won the first 2 rounds. So yeah, you might disagree with me on that. It is what it is. I thought that Hernandez won the first 2 rounds. Already kind of talked about the Almeida fight. Potieria sucks. Almeida isn't as good as I thought he was. I think a lot of people know that. Ryan Spann defeated OSP. Not by knockout like I expected, but I guess he kind of set it up with like a KO blow because he hurt OSP and then got the guillotine. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for Ryan Spann. I don't think that he looked all that great though. I know it was a 90-second fight and he won, but OSP was still landing a lot more strikes on Spann than I thought he was going to, but it is what it is. And then TJ Pennington defeated Carla Esparza. I guess some sort of controversy in the decision. I thought that Pennington won the fight. I don't think she won 30-27, but I do think she won 29-28. Just damage trumps all, man. Carla Esparza would get a takedown and would do nothing with it. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. A judge even gave it 30-27 Pennington. I don't even hate that scorecard, honestly. Pennington has a much, much better case for a 30-27 win than Esparza has a 29-28 win. I can tell you that much anyway. But Court McGee just beat Tim Means. That was a really bad pick to start off the night. He's still got some left in him, I guess, at the end of the day. Gee whiz. Anyways, that's kind of it. Yeah, that's kind of it for the card. I thought it was a good card. One thing I will say as well that was interesting is I didn't really feel like the elevation played that much of a factor in this card as what we had seen in previous cards. Yeah, because in the past, like when we saw the Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman card, like so many people on that card just completely gassed out, and these guys in this fight card were able to kind of push through. So maybe a lot of people actually saw that card and thought, oh, you know, we really got to get acclimatized if we're going to be able to win these matchups, and I think that's what a lot of people did. Looking forward, I know that we have a pretty decent Apex card next week. Now, of course, I will probably record my prediction videos for this card in a couple of days, because after this video, I'm just going to go straight into recording my Dana White's Contender Series prediction video. This is a good card, man, and, call me crazy. I just don't know if Tatsuro Taira wins. I'm going to pick Taira. I'm pretty confident in that. No, I'm not. No, I'm confident in the fact that I might pick Taira. I'm not confident until Pereira. Other than that, though, I feel like this is a good card. Like, I mean, Cody Hatter makes his debut. That's gonna be fun. Carpenter versus Rocha is gonna be fun. Carpenter's coming back. Lucas Rocha's making his debut. Can he make 125, or has he been eating too many donuts? We're about to find out. Barnett versus Tapa is just hilarious matchmaking. I can't wait for it, I'll be honest. And then aside from that, Ramazanbek Temirov is going to make his debut after coming over from Ryzen alongside the man, also from Flyweight, whose name has embarrassingly slipped my mind, Kai Asakura. Yeah, Kai Asakura. Haven't got any fight news from that, but from what we've heard, should be some pretty big news. I'm excited for this card. This is actually a good card. Now, name-wise, I feel like a lot of the more so, I guess, casual audience might not recognize, like 70% of these fighters. No, that's a stretch. 50% of these fighters. But I tell ya, this is gonna be a good card, man. I think this is gonna be a really good one. But yeah, a lot of debuts. Well, not really. A couple debuts, 3 debuts. A return of the GOAT, Chris Barnett. This is a 307 video. What am I doing? I'll talk to you guys in a couple days. And of course, the Contender Series video will be out in hours. I'm about to record it. I'll upload it. I'll send it to Angelo. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.